Hi, welcome to another Witchdoctors DIY Garage where we show you how to do it so you can save money. Something we're going to show you today is the Kuryakyn speaker grills for the cross country. They come as a set of two. They come in black and they also come in chrome. I'll show you the black one here. They're very easy to install. Here's your comparison with the black and the chrome. And what they do actually is they light up like a blue, a real bright blue. And these lines here are what light up. It's not the whole grill doesn't light up, just these lines light up. Nice and thin so it doesn't hit your speaker, it doesn't interfere with your speaker. All the wiring is encased in the back here. You have a plug and play harness, so everything is very easy to put together. We'll show you how to install it. It goes, this snaps in just like your stock speaker grill. Has the little button, the little push-in pin there. So they're very easy to install. No wires need cut, nothing like that. This is one of those items that really dresses up the bike, makes a big difference on how the bike looks. And like I say, when you turn this on, it's really cool looking how they have them kind of arced out here. There's 3 on that side, 4 on this side that light up. So very cool product. We'll go over to the bike and show you how to install it. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you have to pop out your speaker grills. We use a little pick. You can use a little screwdriver, a butter knife, whatever. Just kind of put it in there and pry out. They're not bolted on. You just pop them out. They pop right out. Do both sides. And what you have to do, you have to get these screws out. There's a screw here and a screw here, and there's some around the outer fairing. They're a 4mm Allen, so you can use a wrench, a socket, whatever you got. Because what we have to do is we have to take the front fairing off. And the music you hear in the background, we are at the Southeast Victory Rally in Helen, Georgia. And we're doing an install here. The screws just come right out, no big deal.
Let me ask you this, does anybody out there remember the Tootsie Roll? Wait a minute, you must have seen Mom and Dad the other day.
Now the one thing that I show you on some other videos, you have some screws back in here that are really hard to get to. Okay, now just for simplicity's sake, we've already taken those out. But you have the same screws, they're back in there. So we've already just taken those out, you know, just so you know. You can do the same thing on the other side. Like I say, when you take these screws off, nothing falls off. It's very easy to do. And these speaker grills are actually something that look really cool. We'll show you here once we get them lit up and how they look in the dark, but it really dresses the bike up. And like I said, we have them in black and chrome. And again, there's a screw in here and a screw in here that we've already taken out because with the lighting we can't really show you, but they're in there. You just have to take those out. Now that's basically all the screws that you have to do. Now you have to go up in the front and we have to pull the headlight ring off. Now, you just kind of hook your fingers in the chrome and you just pull this right off. And you want to kind of pull even. Just get it going and work it all the way around and it'll come right off. And if you look, it has the push pins on here. So when you put it back on, you just snap it back in. There's no bolts, there's just a clip there. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to pull off the headlight. These 4 bolts. You have 2 bolts here and 2 bolts here that pull your headlight off. They're just Allen bolts. And you have to do this for the fairing to come off.
What are you putting on?
Speaker grill. Okay, so you take the headlight out, you just grab it, and kind of pull it out, and it'll pop right off. Catches on these tabs here. There you go. Now, when you disconnect the bulbs, you can see there is a tag on each bulb, so you don't screw it up. You really can't screw it up. It says the top bulb, and the other one is the bottom bulb. To get the bulbs out, all you do is you just pull these little clips on the side. You don't have to take the bulb out, just disconnect the wire. Just pull them out, pull these little wings out. They're kind of stiff. Pull them off and just pull that one off. You do the exact same thing. I'll try to show you with a tool here how to do that. You just kind of pull out on that. It's easier with both fingers, but almost need another hand here to hold this. There you go. Just pull that off and the headlight will come right out. Next thing you have, and it might be a little bit hard to see, but you have to disconnect your turn signals. And here's a turn signal here. It's just a real small little wire. And it also labels with a tag left-hand turn signal and right-hand turn signal. Now on these, there's a little tab on here. Try to get this so you can see it. This little tab right here, just push it down and pull it, and it comes right off. Do the same thing with the other one. And you can see this one says right-hand turn, if you can see that. You just push that little tab, it comes right off. So now your front end's all disconnected. So what you have to do is when you take the front end off, you have to lift it up, okay? So it's kind of stuck down here, like how that headlight was stuck on the pins. So you kind of have to yank it a little bit and get it loose. And then you just kind of start pulling it up and it'll stick. You just have to kind of keep working it. And once you pop it, you can see it's loose. You have to lift it up and then pull it off and it'll come right off. Okay? And the reason you have to lift it off is you have these tabs right here. These tabs hook into the frame here. So you have to lift it up and get it off of there and then pull it out. Okay? So that's all it is. And these are all the screws that we took off. So that's all there is to taking that off. So the next thing we'll show you is how to hook into the wiring system. Okay, so once you have all this off, you need to get into this wiring harness right here. It's right in the factory spot because Kuryakyn gives you a jumper harness. So this is going to plug into there, and then your speaker grills are going to plug into there. So to get this harness apart, you have a little tab right here. All you have to do is push down on that tab, and this will pull right apart. Okay? Take your connector. It only goes on one way, so you really can't screw it up. plug it on. When you plug it on, make sure it clicks so you know it's in there tight. Plug that in, and that's basically the only wiring you have. The back of the speaker grill has all the electronics built into it. It's already pre-wired. You have your connector, which plugs right in. And I'll just show you how to do this so you can see it here. You just plug that right in. And do the same thing here. Now you don't do this way. I'm just showing you how it works. So then all you got to do is turn the bike on, and you can see them light up. You want to do this now so that you make sure all your wiring's right so they plug on. You don't want to put the fairing on and then hook these up and say, oh, something screwed up and have to do it. So you can see how they light up. They look really cool at night with that blue with the lines on it. Gives a lot of style to it. So we'll disconnect these back. And it's the same thing. You just kind of push this little tab here. Push that little tab right there. And pull that right out. The same thing here. Push that little tab and pull that right apart. So now that all that's done, you just pop the fairing back on. And the one thing you want to make sure is your wires are going to be hanging here. Make sure you kind of hold them up out of the way so they don't get pinched in. And you just line those tabs that I showed you. You just line those tabs up, push down, and then down here, make sure your wires aren't pinched. You don't want to have any pinched wires under here. And then it's just going to line back up on those tabs, and it kind of snaps back on like how we had to take it off. What you're going to do, here's your wires for the speaker grills. You want to make sure they're kind of out where you can get to them. You want to hook your turn signals back up. Make sure you follow the wire coming from the right hand. Go back to where the tag, right hand, to put them together. Just plug it on. And kind of give it a little pull, make sure it's connected. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay? So that's that. Now, we don't want to put the headlight in because, like I say, you want to kind of leave some room to get to these speaker wires because you're going to kind of have to fish them through, so it's a little bit hard. Okay, so now this is kind of a little bit difficult. We have to kind of fish this wire down through, so you may have to pop the fairing back on and off, so however you can do it so you can see. Now I'll try to pop this back off a little bit so you can see exactly what we're doing. But you want to kind of fish that wire through, kind of in the corner here, and fish it down through. And if it's easier for you to hook it in now, you can do that. But that's all. You just really kind of want to fish that down through. And let that hang there a second. And you want to go and do the other side. Do the same thing on the other side. Fairing pop back on. Now, you can't really put these in yet because don't forget you have these screws here. So you want to put your screws back in. Okay, now you get those tight. Just tuck your wire in. And this just kind of hooks in just like the stock one. You have your rubber or your peg that goes in your rubber there. And you just have to be careful when you line them up. And they just kind of snap in. Do the same thing on this side.
There's one for you. For those two steppers out there. Come on.
Now you're just going to go and finish putting your screws in. You're just going to put everything back together like you took it apart.
We have to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Once again, we want to thank everybody for being on down here for the Victory Riders Rally up here in Howard, Georgia. Got to give a shout out to all of those that drove through many states just to get here. We appreciate you guys. We don't know how much you guys help, but you help every year when you make it on down. And as you can see,
So we'll show you how to put the headlight back in, but all you're going to basically do is finish putting your screws on each side, and you're going to be done on this side. We'll show you how to do the headlight.
it's a camp for kids, physical and mental disabilities. We hook them up.
Okay, so you make sure your wires, like I say, are out of the way. Found your wire that says the top bulb. It says top bulb. You just push it back on. Only goes one way. You try it, just snaps right in. Push it in. You're gonna kind of snap this back on. Just put your bolts in. Once you get those tight, you just pop your headlight ring back in. Make sure the tabs are lined up. Pop it in. And that's all you do. You just put the screws in on the other side and you're all set. That's how you install Kuryakyn speaker grills. You can see they match perfect with the blue of the dash. I'll shut the light off so you can see them. So you can see how the color matches. Everything looks really good. That's all it is to install those. Thanks for watching.